All right, so in this video, we're going to find and simplify the difference quotient for a rational function. Now, the rational function, you need a few more different kinds of tricks in order to get this to simplify properly. So we're going to go through each of the steps one at a time. So again, we're going to start with finding f of x plus h. Again, it's always important to keep in mind this is function notation, which says we're taking our function as our template, and we're replacing x everywhere in the original formula with x plus h. So this will become 1 over 2 times x plus h minus 1, like so. Now, you can certainly simplify by distributing here, but it's not going to be nearly as useful as when we are trying to do this with polynomials. So I'm going to leave it alone for now. And then the next thing is we have to do the entire numerator for our difference quotient. So f of x plus h minus the original function. So we're going to have our 1 over 2x plus h minus 1 minus 1 over 2x minus 1. Now, eventually, we want to be able to cancel and have a form where we can cancel this h that is in the denominator. And in this form, it doesn't look like that's something that's going to be possible, but we can do some more algebra in order to actually make that doable. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a common denominator. Now, these two denominators have nothing in common with each other. They're not mutually divisible by anything. That h really messes everything up. So what we're going to do is we're essentially going to find that the denominator is 2x plus 2h minus 1 if I distribute the 2, and 2x minus 1. So it's just the product of the two denominators together. So what that means is that my first fraction, I am going to multiply by 2x minus 1 over 2x minus 1. And the second one, I am going to multiply by 2x plus h minus 1 over 2x plus h minus 1. Now you can, again, you can write these out. You can distribute them if you want to. It's not going to really make any difference in this particular example. Sometimes you really don't want to because it will complicate things and you'll have to refactor. In this case, distributing the 2 through the x plus h is not really going to change anything that we have to deal with. But what we don't want to do is FOIL out everything in the denominator because that's not going to help us. So when we do the multiplication, here our numerator for our first fraction is going to be 2x minus 1. And then in the denominator, we'll have 2x plus 2h minus 1 and 2x minus 1. And then in the second one, we'll have 2x plus 2h minus 1 divided by 2x plus 2h minus 1 times 2x minus 1. And the whole thing here, do not simplify, do not cancel at this point, because first we want to do the subtracting, make them one fraction, and then after we simplify, then see if we can cancel. But if you try to cancel here, you're just going to be undoing finding our common denominator, so that will not help us. So remember, this is a fraction inside of a fraction, essentially. We've just pulled out that numerator. So we're going to take our numerator on the one side, and we are going to subtract, because of the subtraction sign right here, the entire second denominator, second numerator. And then we're going to divide by the common denominator, 2x plus 2h minus 1, and 2x plus 2x minus 1, getting carried away. So here's our common denominator. It's what we had for both of these denominators before. And our numerator, now we're taking this denominator and this numerator, and we're subtracting this numerator, the whole thing. So we're going to have to distribute that minus sign. The numerator will become 2x minus 1 minus 2x minus 2h plus 1. And then our denominator like so. What can we cancel? Here's our minus 1 with our plus 1. And here's our 2x with our minus 2x. And so what we'll be left with is minus 2h all over 2x plus 2h minus 1 and 2x minus 1. Now, this was just the numerator of our difference quotient. This was just derived from this. So really what we have, we still have to divide by h. That's going to be, let's actually do our fraction template just so we can see how this is going to work. The h is in the denominator, and the numerator is this whole big crazy thing. But when you divide by something, that's equivalent to multiplying by the reciprocal. So it's that numerator times the reciprocal of the denominator, which is h. The reciprocal of that is 1 over h. And now it's a little clearer that that h and that h are going to cancel. And so we're going to be left with minus 2 over 2x plus 2h minus 1 and 2x minus 1. And from this point, there really isn't anything that you can do with this. Again, foiling out these parentheses in the denominator will not help you. I mean, I guess there's nothing technically incorrect about it, but it is not necessary. Ultimately, especially when we get to calculus, our goal will actually be to let h be 0, in which case then we'll be able to simplify. But here we can just leave the expression as it is. And if we're given values of x and h, we can just plug them in and then simplify after, do the multiplication after we simplify the expressions in each parentheses. That'll just be easier algebra. Again, there's no point in trying to FOIL this.